This breaking news why they read now they shock me. As they shock me, they pain me for my heart. Why they pain me for my heart be say, this man where you they see for inside this video now, his name now Mr. David Olubunmi. He's from Ekiti State. This man don't go by his wife, who is a nurse in the United Kingdom. This man don't go by his wife, who is a nurse in UK. One Mrs. Taiwo Owoeye, how? Leaving 3 children behind. Omo, when I get this news, I can't first cry for my heart. I can't ask God, say, I hope, say another day feed day. When people will make mistake for their life, go fit get a second chance. I can't ask myself, say what a life, what is life and what is money. According to UK police and according to the information available on the internet space, Mr. David with his wife relocated to the UK earlier this year, 2023. It was gathered and reported that shortly afterwards, the wife went to the government or to the police and got a restraining order restraining Mr. David. And usually when a restraining order comes, it is either you as a husband or as a man, you are restricted from having access to your wife, from visiting the home where she lives. Sometimes, depending on the gravity of the issues on the table, depending on what the problem is, depending on the type of case or the type of issues you're having with your wife and children. Sometimes a restraining order could restrain you from having access to your children. It could also restrain you from having access to your wife. In fact, it could also restrain you from having access to the house or the apartment or to the building where she lives. I do not have an idea the type of restraining order that the wife procured from the government or from the police that restrained Mr. David. However, thereafter, Mr. David still found his way into the apartment where the wife lived with the 3 children. And it was gathered that Mr. David single-handedly went to that very apartment, come by his wife, leaving 3 children behind. According to the UK police, as well as the independent investigators that were hired, it was reported that Mr. David carried out this very wicked act by himself alone. And sooner, Mr. David will be charged to court. It is now becoming very obvious that this Mr. David Olubunmi, who is from Ekiti State, might spend the rest of his life in prison or in jail, as the case may be. I am not trying to preempt the law or the court of law in the UK. However, it is becoming very obvious what will become of him thereafter. But now, I want to tell you the reason why they do this video. Why they do this video be say, some months ago, I don't go separate fights for abroad here. What did they cause the problem? Marriage crisis. Yes. Domestic wahala. Misunderstanding. Some of these misunderstanding, if they begin to explain and give you, you go begin to ask yourself, if you are a man with a very high level of understanding or a woman with a very high level of understanding, you go come begin to ask yourself, things like this should not be a problem. Things like this should not cause a problem. I can't use my hand, come beg the wife. I tell her, say, I beg, make you no go involve Olokpa people. May you no go involve Olokpa, because if you involve Olokpa for inside this matter now, if government can't enter this matter now, the next thing be say they go restrict your husband, because why? Women get power for inside this country. Women get power well for the Western world. I say, I beg, make you no go involve the government. I believe say they had me. Later on, I called the man specially and I told him, I tell God beg you, it will be more honorable if Ona two no say Ona don't tire to they live together. Yes, forget about waiting you don't invest on top this woman. Use because of the children. If Ona no say Ona no go feel live together for under the same roof, make you just jejely come out, go find house. They live alone. Say because why? The moment government go enter this matter now, they go come tell you say make you pack come out for house. That one now they pain for body. It go come be like say everything where you don't suffer for inside this life, they don't take them away from you. If they can't join restraining order, come put them for inside, you know as they be. They feel even restrain you, say you no go feel meet your children again. After advice the man finish, the man don't pack come up for house. Today, their relationship is severed, but they are still at peace at distance. Everybody know in lane now. Waiting they do now be say they support the children, but everybody they live their life now independently. Police know they involved. My dear brothers and sisters, the last thing I want to tell on be say, I don't talk for several of my videos, say, abroad marriage, Oyibo marriage, and African marriage no be the same thing. It gets so many things where you know feel add put for inside African marriage. Yes, especially marriage from Nigeria. You get some things where you know fit comot from African marriage or from Nigerian marriage. Culture is people's way of life. Your existence is tied to your culture. Your root is tied to your traditions and your culture. As you travel, they go abroad, bear one thing in mind. Do not allow the freedom that you experience there as a woman or as a man to put your partner into trouble. Yes, there is freedom and government is working, and women also has a whole lot of powers and authorities. And for this reason, always remember your root. Always remember where you are coming from as a man or as a woman. Remember how you were born. Remember who gave birth to you. Remember who you were before you came to abroad. Remember where you are coming from. Remember the people that gave life to you, your parents. If you carry all these things for inside your mind, there are certain things you will not do in abroad. There are certain things you will not put inside your... There are certain things you will not put as an addition into your marriage. There are certain things you will not remove as a subtraction from your marriage. Otherwise, when you do some of these things, you go use your hand before your eyes, scatter that marriage. And when it starts, it cause irreparable mental damage. It cause irreparable emotional damage. It cause irreparable mental torture. It can happen to a man, it can happen to a woman. And at the end of the day, you go begin to see revenge. Lastly, I want to categorically say that there is no justification for any crime in this life. I am not an advocate of rascality, and I'm also not an advocate of lawlessness. Therefore, nothing justifies you for committing any type of crime. Yes, and for this reason, you need to understand at all times that the true maturity and the true measure of a man is where he stands and his position and his disposition at the moment of crisis. Finally, it is my prayer that the good Lord will grant this woman, Taiwo, eternal rest and give the family the fortitude to bear this irreparable loss. Yes, as you watch this video, I thank God beg you, drop your opinion, drop your comment, and share this video with another person. God bless you.